Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Messi, popularly known as Mebi of Me Property, your real estate consultant here in Nigeria, based in Lagos State. So, if you're on this channel for the first time, do well to subscribe. I know it's something that brought you here, either to find out an answer to your question concerning how to invest in real estate in Lagos State. So today we are continuing with our series, Due Diligence Part 4. Due diligence in Lagos State.
In a city like Lagos, every investor should be very careful. Not just careful about the property you're buying or the developer, but careful that you do your due diligence very well, because this determines how far you're going to go in that property before you start having problem, which is nothing I wish for you in Jesus' name. So learn this. So today we are going to talk about house due diligence on a house built on an untitled land. Yes, now this might cause a little bit of controversy because people think that when you buy a house that is built on an untitled land, that it means that you're buying the wrong property, but that's not the truth. Yes, it is okay to wait for your title document to be ready, or to wait until you've perfected your title on a particular land before you build on it, especially if this is the kind of land that you know you want to sell in the future. But there are situations where you are not able to get this title document on time, or perhaps you didn't file the application on time and you needed to build because the land was genuine and you believed it was genuine because of how it came to you. What happens is that anyone you're going to sell to, I'm talking to the seller right now, have to do some necessary things, have to take some necessary steps to make sure that that land is safe for them. So you as a buyer, you as an investor, this is how you can actually check if this property is for you or not. Let's get into it. So, as usual, we are going to follow our three formulas, which is TLS, meaning title verification, legal search, and social check. So if this was a fiscal class, I would have asked, who knows what we talked about in this title verification? I mean, today we're in part 4, meaning we've seen part 1, part 2, part 3. So we've been talking about TLS. What do you think will happen here? Title verification. Since it's not a fiscal class, I'm going to answer that. So what happens is this: there is no title. So would there be a title verification? No. But you have something to verify, Abby. Yes, you have your survey plan. So now, that survey plan that was issued to you by the seller or the developer, what do? You send a surveyor on site to get the coordinates of this land or the coordinates of the property, no matter how big it is. Get the coordinates, then you match it with what you've been presented. Then you go to Surveyor General's office. I'm talking of your surveyor right now, a professional one. Goes to Surveyor General's office, matches these coordinates, and ensure that there is correct alignment. And also ensure that zoning is perfect. And you're not being sold a land that is at Epe. Meanwhile, what you're saying is that the land is at Eleko. You don't want that to happen. So your surveyor right now will be your best friend number 1. Is that understood? Will be your best friend number 1. So also ensure that there are no encumbrances. It's also possible to check this also at the Surveyor General's office, and also make sure that the government is not planning to do something along that area and the house will be demolished later. You can also find some of that information at the Surveyor General's office. For someone holding a survey plan alone, I forgot to mention, immediately you complete the survey plan check and everything comes out positive, and you discover that, oh, this land is actually genuine. The owner is the owner. there's no encumbrance on the land is perfect zoning. What do you do next? You file in for title immediately. Don't say you don't have money, because that property you're buying, all of us know that it's not small money that you're using to buy it. So make sure you start the process of title processing immediately. So you submit your application form, and the process begins immediately. And after you've completed the survey and you have actually requested for the title process to begin, next thing you should do is what? You ask for permit. Yes, for you to build on any land in Lagos, you must have your building permit. Normally, the seller or this developer are supposed to present you with a temporary permit. Yes, temporary permit is usually issued for untitled lands. But down at the at the temporary permit, just like you're seeing right now, you're going to see a clause that indicates that permanent one will be issued once he submits the title documents of the property. Now, in this situation, most times the permits are not ready or the person is still processing it. What do? You request for two documents, which is called revenue receipt and application form. So the seller or the developer presents it to you. This might not just be you buying one house. This might be you buying so many houses inside an estate. Tell the developer to present you with these two documents. Now you take the two documents, you go to submit it to LASPPPA. Why are you doing that? When I mean LASPPPA, I mean LASPPPA. LASPPPA. That's Lagos State um, Fiscal Planning Permit Authority. Now, why are you doing this? You're doing this to confirm that this person is not lying to you and that the process have actually begun and the permit will be ready. Because without a building permit in Lagos, that your house is prone to demolition, like straight up. That's what happens to an estate in Aja that you heard about, the Palm View estate. Those fine, beautiful houses that you saw there was demolished because of one thing, building approval. So many of them didn't have it. So this process is really important. Now, once you find out that the permit is actually in progress and that the developer is actually have actually started the process, what next do you do? You can't start requesting for building approval from LASBCA. LASBCA is Lagos State Building Control Agency. You can't start requesting for it because it, of course, is not ready. But once the permit is ready, getting a certificate from LASBCA is very easy. But the next and very important thing you should ask this seller for or this developer for is LSMTL certificate. It's called Lagos State Material Testing Laboratory Certificate. It's simple. Lagos State Material Testing Laboratories is an agency that tests out the materials used in a building. So if you're going to live in that house or you're going to put people in that house as tenants, you have to make sure that tomorrow POP will not fall on somebody's head, or that tomorrow the first floor will not collapse on somebody's head. So it is important. LSMTL certificate to make sure that the house that you're buying is durable and durable materials or certified materials was used for it. This is very, very important. So that is it. So these are the three agencies. After you've confirmed your survey and you've started your title processing, we go straight down to the legal search. So we remember that this legal search, we had three arms. We had probate search, we had um, litigation, we have debt check, and we have deed verification. Legal search. We've already mentioned probate search, litigation, debt check, and deed verification. Now, this deed verification now is important here because, of course, there is no title to the land. So your lawyer is going to prepare a deed. a deed of conveyance in this case to show that this land has been transferred from A to B. Now, your lawyer has to confirm that this deed is well prepared and was prepared by the law firm that was claimed to prepare it. Because we've had situations where agents on their own prepare deed and come and give an investor. You don't want that to happen to you. So who should be preparing a deed is a lawyer, a property lawyer at that, a professional. And that deed must be viable in the law court in case of anything in the future. So that is for deed verification. Is it for deed verification? You'll be wondering why I started from here. I did because deed in this case is as if it's replacing our title document. So after deed verification, we go over to our probate search. Probate search. What is probate? Probate simply means how this property came to be, usually from a deceased person. Now, when you go to public registry in the High Court, either the one in VI or the one in Ikeja, you request for this grant of probate is a document, or we can call it or letter of administration. Now, what is contained in this grant of probate? It contains the name of the administrators of the land, meaning legal owners of the land that can sell it. So in situations where this grant has been offered to somebody else before, possibly the person selling to you, or maybe another person that came and took the grant out. So you request for this letter of administration or grant of probate. Now, in situations where they have issued out this grant before, what you request for is a certified true copy of this grant of probate. Why do you need it? It lists out the names of the administrators involved in this property. I'm talking of people that should sell it. Now, when you get this document, you now confirm if the seller, the person selling to you, the name is listed among this. So probate search is important legal aspect of due diligence, mostly performed by lawyers. You need a professional for this so that in case anything comes up, he or she can be able to interpret it. So that is it for probate search. Now let's go ahead and look at litigation search or litigation verification. Now, what is litigation? Litigation is simply saying this land is not in the law court. That's just the layman's way of explaining it. This land is not in one case like that somewhere. So, litigation search, all you need to do is you go to the registry, you submit the file number of the property that you're searching for, submit the names of the people involved, and this search will be done. This is to ensure that this property or this land is not under any encumbrances, land disputes, or claims. That is it for litigation search. Now let's go to depth check. Now, what is depth check? Depth check is simply to show that this land is not listed as collateral to any loan of any sort. But since it's an untitled land, we don't have to worry much about it. We can't you can't do mortgage with an untitled land, but you can actually do what? You can actually go and check personal credit of this individual that is selling to make sure that this land or this property was not listed or subject to any encumbrances. So this is an important aspect of legal search, this depth check, because you do this at the land registry, you submit the file number and the details of anybody involved in selling you the land. Then this is how you actually know for an untitled land. Depth check is still very important. Now let's go to the last one, which is the social check. Now, social check is really important. Even though, in fact, as an untitled land, social check is literally one of your best ally at this point. If it's a titled land, you've gone to do CAC, you've got to get the certified true copy, then you are safe. But in this situation where it is not a titled land, you have to do a social check, because all you have on that land, as far as me and you we are concerned, is the survey plan that was given to you, and probably the temporary documents that you have, and the receipts, and the application forms that you requested for. Now, how do you do this social check? You go to your community. Yes, you can meet the ballet of the community. You can meet the neighborhood youth. You can meet anyone you can, or simply go to the LCDA, which is the Local Council Division Authority, Development Authority, I mean to say. You go, you ask questions. Oh, this estate at this angle, you ask questions about the estate. You tell them, oh, I want to buy houses in that estate. What do you know about it? What is going on there? And you're going to hear true if there is a problem or not, because there are problems on properties that are not registered in the law court. They are not registered with the government, but they are registered in people's minds. And if there is a very big dispute going on around that area or concerning that property, you might be in danger. So social check is a must. You can run this yourself, but if you can't do it, I don't even advise you to do it without someone around you, either a realtor, a trusted realtor that know the right questions to ask, or you can do it with your lawyer, or you can do it with a police officer. So this is actually really important. That is for social check. Now we've come to the last part of this due diligence. You've done everything up to this point. So you've completed your TLS search. Congratulations. Okay, so this is the end of part 4. And so we'll go over to part 5, where we'll be talking about land due diligence on a titled land. Just land now, no building involved, no houses involved, just land. See you on the next one.